Hey everyone, it's Pat Mason here, and we are going to talk tonight about something that should be of interest to everybody here. It's the NewAge Compensation Plan. How do you get paid as a brand partner in NewAge? We're going to talk all about that over the next hour. We have a lot of information to go over. So without further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen and we will get started promptly. Okay. Let's get this slideshow going. Okay, so once again, we're going to talk about the North American Compensation Plan. I have listed here U.S. Compensation Plan because we're going to be talking about dollars as in American dollars tonight. Okay, so what are we going to cover? It's all about the compensation plan. Show me the money, as Tom Cruise would say in Jerry Maguire. We're going to talk about the overview of the compensation plan, all the different ways you get paid, qualifying for commissions. We're going to talk about different terms, gold and ultimate status and why you want these, and getting into the company, how much to start. And we're going to talk about the 4-week rolling calendar, the way that commissions are paid in NewAge. It's on a weekly basis, and there are 4 color weeks that rotate. Now, here are all the ways that we get paid. We're going to talk about every single one of these tonight. And I'll tell you what, when you're done tonight, you're going to be all psyched up. If you have not been exposed to this before, you're going to be going, wow, I'm so glad that I joined this particular company. So without further ado, let's go and get started here. The NewAge Comp Plan is a very unique comp plan because it takes the best attributes of other comp plans that are out there while paying out 50% of NewAge revenue to brand partners. So half of the revenue that's out there is going to the brand partners. That is a huge percentage, and it makes us #1 in the industry. Now, there are 3 basic types of plans out there that we're going to talk about because what we have is a combination, really it's the culmination of taking these 3 types of plans together and making something that's truly unique and awesome. A unilevel plan allows you to build wide. So you think of this being shallow and wide. Now, a binary is where you're building lines and you're going to build them deep, but you can't build wide. Now, a matrix, you're going to have some wide and some deep. So think of this as like filling up a box. You can only go so wide and so deep. What makes our comp plan so awesome is that it is what we call a multi-line plan. It's the first of its kind in the industry, allows you to build infinitely wide, and it can also allow you to build infinitely deep. You can do both. It's all up to you how you build. It's a patented plan, and it only belongs to NewAge. Now, first of all, before we really get going here, let's talk a little bit about qualifying for commissions. Because to tap into our comp plan, you have to actually be qualified to get commissions. So I think most of us probably know this by now, but NewAge is a direct-to-consumer health and wellness company. And at the end of the day, what do? We sell products. Really, we're sharing products with other people in the hopes that they will purchase volume from us and have their own transformations, while we ourselves are also purchasing products and having our own health transformations and financial transformations as well, right? That's the whole name of the game here. So if you are a brand partner in NewAge, you're going to come in by purchasing a pack of products at a particular business level. We will talk about business levels later. Now, those packs of products start at what we call 200 product volume or personal volume. That is the minimum for coming in as a brand partner. It's going to cost you about $300 to $310 in product, and you're going to have a $30 or actually $29.95 startup fee that really is not a fee. It really is allowing corporate to set up a replicated website for you, to set up a back office site for you, and you have your own business site and everything is going to be set up for you for that $30. So everything else is product, and you're going to get that product at the 30% off rate for being a brand partner. So there is no fluff. When you sign up with NewAge, you really are getting value for the money. Now, for every brand partner, we have, in order to get commissions, we are responsible to purchase, or our customers that we bring in purchase 100 PV per month. That's about 150 to 160 bucks. I have 150 to 155 listed here. Now that's what we call a monthly either auto delivery or subscribe and save, which is the new term for it. But you will hear people mention auto delivery. So I went ahead and kept that in there because you will hear that spoken of often. Now, if you have customers, once again, their volume can count toward your requirements. So you may not be purchasing the whole 100 PV, or maybe you will. And I can tell you, most of us purchase a lot more than 100 PV because the products are just so darn good. And we are taking multiple products, and it's not hard at all to get that $150 in product a month. Now, at any month that you actually purchase that type of volume, you are going to be commission or commissionable or ready for commissions, right? You're eligible to receive money from the company. Now you will you will earn reward points as you purchase product. You're going to gain loyalty, discount, shopping benefits. Once your first subscription arrives at your house, then you will be enrolled in loyalty. And as long as you keep something on subscription, whether you're commissionable or not, if you have anything on subscription, you will continue to be able to participate in the loyalty program. Now, before we go farther, I think it's good for us to talk about some terms. You're going to see a lot of terms here thrown here and there, and let's go ahead and define those. Your income position is simply where you are in the grand scheme of NewAge, in the tree of people that have enrolled in this company. There will be people that came in above you, and there are going to be people that are below you. Now, this is where you locked in when you joined, and you're going to grow your organization from there. Now, you might have people come up to you and say, oh, you're in one of those pyramid organizations. Well, you look at a tree and it looks kind of like that. Here's the deal. It's not a pyramid organization. Here's the neat thing about this particular company. You can earn more than the person above you. You can earn more than the person 3 levels above you. It's all about your own effort. The people below you can earn more than you. It's all about their own effort. So you aren't limiting anybody, and nobody is limiting you. So when we say that it is your business, it truly is your business. Now, placement, once again, is where you are in that grand scheme, that tree that we just talked about. That's where you place somebody when they enroll. Now, placement is a strategic thing, and we're going to discuss placement in depth later on. The placement tree, once again, is the diagram showing your organization as you are growing it. Everybody will start out building 2 lines of business. Now, you might have come in at a level where you have more lines, but everybody will start building 2. The largest line, volume-wise, will be called a power line, and the smallest line will be called a pay line. We're going to talk about that coming up right in the next slides here. But the placement tree is how base commissions are determined. You're basically going to get paid off of the pay line and anybody in your power line that you personally sponsor. So a sponsorship tree now is in contrast to a placement tree. Placement, I could bring in somebody and put them 20 generations down on a placement tree. I could put them 30 levels down on a placement tree, but they're still my generation number 1 on the sponsorship tree because I directly sponsored them. And then those people, when they bring in their first person, that will be their generation 1, and you'll be your generation 2. And that's important when we want to figure out matching pay. That's another way we get paid. And I like to think of that as a leader bonus. We'll talk more about that. All right. So once again, we talked briefly about power line and pay line. Power line is always the line that has the largest volume. You only have 1 power line. You don't get base commissions on this except from those you directly sponsor in that line. So we have people that we brought in early on, and they're on that side of our organization, and we don't get paid base commission over there. However, if that person, that particular person that I brought in and Lisa brought in actually has volume that month, we will get paid on that because we brought them in. Now, once again, you're always going to get paid when those people that you directly sponsor order, regardless of where they are in your organization. Now, the pay line is the smaller, here we go. The pay line is a smaller line or lines. You can have multiple pay lines, but typically you're only going to have one pay line until you max it out, and then you will start a separate pay line. So the smaller line in volume is going to be your pay line, and that's what you're going to get base commission on. You will get base commission on every pay line you have. So if you had multiple pay lines, you would get paid on all of those pay lines. Now, if volume is placed on your pay line, it's going to count toward base commissions that the entire pay line. And you can also use it for ranking up where the PV is a factor. So we will talk about title advancements much later, and that'll be a lot more apparent. But there are titles in the company where you have to have a certain amount of PV on your pay line to get those ranks. Now, this is a cool thing here. We have a term called optimized. So when you have optimized a line, what that means is that you have taken a pay line and you've reached the maximum PV that the company's going to pay out. Now that will be $13,334. Sounds like a weird number, but when you multiply that by 15%, that's $2,000 on a single pay line. That is the most that the company will pay out on a single pay line. Now, in order to get paid out on a pay line at that level, you have to have the same volume on your power line. We'll talk more about that coming up. Reentry is another really cool thing that we have, where you get an additional income position awarded to you. Once you optimize a line, you get another position, and you get a choice of where you want to put that in your organization. You could put that under some rock star, so that they can earn money from you while you're earning money from you, right? It's a really cool thing. You can, so it's a strategic decision that you will decide. But the cool thing is, when you put that in the depth of your organization, then you can grow down more generations from that and get more matching pay. This is part of that infinitely deep part of the multi-line plan that we were talking about. Now, if you're ultimate, you have a thing called power reentry, where you can also get an income position the first time you optimize that you can put on your power line. So that gives you that also gives you an income position. And these income positions are like joining the company again. It's like being able to start over, but yet now you're making money off of you, and people who are above where you put that position are also going to make money off of you. So you can make a lot of people really happy. Now, we want you to maximize your potential. You want to go gold and you want to go ultimate. When you buy your business pack, you have different price options. So there are several levels of these packs. We have what we call a member or an activated pack that gives you 2 lines of business. Everyone's going to start out with 2, but you are limited to 2 with a member pack. Now, business level, anything above the member pack is really advantageous. You get double bonuses, and then you get more than 2 lines. Now, if you're starting with 2 lines, you may wonder, why do I want 3, 4, or 5 lines if I'm not going to be growing them for a long time? We will talk about that. There are definite reasons why you want more lines. Business level is 500 PV, elite level 1000 PV, and ultimate level. If you're serious about business, you're going to want to come in at ultimate level. It gives you 5 lines, and you have other benefits. That's 1500 PV. Once you achieve a business level, you never have to requalify for it. So one of the cool things about NewAge is that, once you get a title or a business level, you never go down. You never have to requalify. Now, gold status is where you enroll 4 brand partners in the first 8 weeks with a 200 PV pack and an auto delivery. So once you do that, it unlocks matching pay on your first 3 generations forever. We like to call this the power of 4. You want to bring in 4 and then teach your 4 to bring in their 4 and build your organization out. Gold status is a big deal because you cannot get matching pay unless you are a gold status. We will talk about matching pay. So as far as entering the company, you might have people say, well, how much do I have to pay to come in? So for activated, and these are just rough, it really depends on the products that you decide to come in with. If you're activated, 200 PV, which is about $300 to $350. Remember, every level you're going to pay that $29.95 once to set up your back office and your website. For business level, 500 PV is about $750 to $800. Elite, you're going to pay probably between $1,400 and $1,550 for an elite pack. And then ultimate at 1,500 PV, you can pay anywhere from around 2,100 to 23, 2,400, depending on what kind of products you get and how they're bundled. So ultimate also gives you other benefits, including that power reentry, where you get to reenter on your power line. You can sponsor 8 people in your first 8 weeks to do this. The easiest way is probably just to buy your way in. Now you can, if someone comes in at a lower pack and in that first 8 weeks, they decide to buy more product, they can end up, ranking up to this ultimate level. So, you have a little bit of a time, to accrue these points. NewAge, as far as commissions go, it's a weekly thing. You get paid on a Friday. Volume is calculated from Saturday midnight Mountain Time to Friday midnight Mountain Time. And there are 4 weeks that cycle through 13 times a year. So we don't go by a month, we go by 13 periods of red, purple, green, and blue. Now, our team likes to build on blue the most. This doesn't mean you can't put people on other weeks, but as far as ranking up goes, you have to have a certain amount of volume to get some of the higher ranks, in your pay line. And so what we've done is we have concentrated our efforts toward Blue Week, where we get the most volume on that week. That helps us to get ranked. Now, in time, you're going to have people on all 4 weeks, and you want to have that because you want to have steady paychecks, right? You don't want to have just 1 week where you're getting a paycheck. But at first, it's nice to have a week that you concentrate on, at least to get some ranks and at least to see some larger checks. And maybe you'll get enough that you get a savings bonus, which we'll talk about later. The 4-week calendar looks like this. This is actually last year's calendar. And like I said, there are 13 periods in a year, not 12. So you'll notice that Red Week here is up toward the top. And by the time we get over in April, it's all the way down here, right? So that it'll rotate into a different place each month. So you have your blue, red, green, or purple, green, then it goes back to blue and red again. All right, let's go ahead and look at the many ways we get paid in this company. This is just an amazing comp plan, and here we go. Retail profits. Now, there are people out there that love to buy products in bulk and they sell them at retail. It's kind of, I call it the Mary Kay idea, where you buy a lot of makeup. You have all your eyeliners and you have your satin hands and all that. I used to know people who were in this company, and you buy them and then you sell them to people. And now, as far as retail goes, you get to pocket that entire differential between retail and wholesale, but you have an option here. You can choose to offer people a 15% discount. That's 15% discount with a promo code, which you set in the back office. You go under dashboard, hit the little hamburger sign, and then you can go set up a promo code. And then you would give them that promo code when you either send them a smart link or when you do the order yourself online. That gives them 15% off. Now, if they want to subscribe and save on that product, they will get a second 15%. That means they will actually pay exactly what you pay. So if they decide they want to do the promo code, but I don't want to subscribe to anything, then that other 15% is going to go to you. Now, if they end up buying at retail and they don't buy it with a promo code, they just get on there and they buy something on your website, you're going to get 30% of the PV extra as retail profits. Like I said, for me, it's all about friends don't let friends buy retail, but there are people that will still go on and do it. And you know what? I'm not going to turn them away, and you will get extra money for that. But I always think it's good to offer people a discount, because I'm more of a I want customers for a long time. And I think that that's, when people realize that they're paying what you pay, I think they feel like they're getting a good deal. Now, you're going to get paid at all stages of your business. When you start and years on down the road, you're going to get paid. There are many ways to make money with this #1 rated compensation plan, but there are 3 primary ways, and you want to think of them kind of as evolutionary. We have what we call a new volume bonus. We used to call it a team lead bonus, where you get paid right now. You bring somebody in as a customer, you bring somebody in as a brand partner, and you will get right now pay. Now, that's the new volume bonus. Then you have base commissions. That's as you build your organization, you build your power line, your pay line, you're going to get base commissions. Then we have what we call matching pay, and that matching pay is what I like to call a leader bonus. It's when you get paid as you lead your team to get paid. So they get a commission, you will get a percentage of their commission as matching pay. If you are gold, that means if you brought in 4 people, in the time period and locked in that gold status, you get those first 3 generations. First 3 generations as matching pay. Now, you're going to get more from team lead bonuses early. And then, you might get quite a bit of base commissions. You won't have a lot of matching pay in the beginning. But down the road, this matching pay can actually take over if you are good at building your organization. Matching pay is a reward you get for building your organization. New volume bonus. This is the fastest way that we get paid. You get paid out on the packs or customer orders that you sell and people enroll or purchase if you're a customer, and on all volume in their first 4 weeks. That's up to the 4th Friday. So if you are activated, it's always 15%. Now, if you come in at a higher level than that, the first month, that first 4 weeks, you're going to make more money on the PV. It's 20% on the PV, not on the dollar amount. For Elite, 25%, and Ultimate, 30% on the PV. So an Ultimate, if you look down below here, if you're Ultimate, you make twice as much as somebody who's activated. If you bring in somebody with an Ultimate pack, you would make $225 as an activated brand rep, brand partner. And as Ultimate, you'd make 30% or $450 off of an Ultimate pack. That's some good money right there. Now, what does that look like? So you already came in at Ultimate level, right? You came in on a previous month. So you put in your 100 PV, so you're qualified for commissions. You have 5 lines of business. You brought in Joe, who has 4. You brought in Jill, who has 5. She's Ultimate. And you brought in Pat, who's also at Ultimate with 5. So and Joe is at Elite level. So these 3 people are people you personally sponsored. Now, Kelly's over here. Kelly was put in by your upline. Kelly needed to be put somewhere, and that was a good place for them to put her. They put her there. You're not going to get team lead bonus for her because she doesn't belong to you. And likewise, Jill brought in Lisa, Pat brought in Bob and Sue. You're not going to get paid team lead bonus on these people either. You're just going to get paid on these. So what would you get? If you are Ultimate, you would get 30% of the amount in PV. So Joe, you'd get $300 here. And for Jill and Pat, you get $450. That's $1,200 for bringing in 3 people at some pretty high levels. Now, that's some pretty good money right there. Now, let's go ahead and talk about base commissions, power lines, and pay lines. Anytime you think about base commissions, it's all about what's on your power line and what's on your pay line. Everybody who starts in NewAge is going to build 2 lines. You're going to have a power line and a pay line. That's your biggest line is your power line, and any other line you have is a pay line. So you will get full base commissions on these. In their entirety. You will get paid once again on the people on your power line that you personally put in. Now, you're going to start building 2 lines, but there is an advantage early on to having the business Elite or Ultimate business setup. And it's because we have a thing called auto balancing. We'll talk a little bit more about it later, but it allows you to take extra volume that you purchase and it spreads it out on these unused lines, and you will end up getting paid more. So you are going to get commission on any volume that you purchase above the monthly subscription requirement of 100 PV. So if you put 300 PV in on a particular month, the 200 PV, you'll get paid 15% on that. Now, I don't talk about it here, but there's also strategy. Let's say you have somebody brand new, you can buy that product. You can purchase that product and you can put that volume under a new brand partner who's in their first 4 weeks, and you'll end up getting, whatever the first month percentage is, depending on your business level. So if you were Ultimate, it pays to, buy that extra product and put it under somebody brand new. You'll get to 30% instead of 15, right? Now, the cool thing is this auto balancing thing is a patented thing that only we have, and it allows you to spread your volume out. We will talk a little bit more about that. When you build your lines, you always want to have a strong power line, but you also want to build on your pay line. Really, it pays to balance these lines out because you're going to get paid base commissions on the smaller of two lines. So you really want those lines to be somewhat close to each other. Let's talk about power lines and pay lines. Now, so let's say you're already Ultimate, you put in your 100 PV and you have an extra 200 PV. We were just talking about that. Now, all the people that you sponsored, these light blue people, 1, 2, 3, they already had come in a month ago. So we talked about them back here as coming in with packs. Here, they're just doing some monthly PV, right? They're already in. They have 4 lines of business, 5 lines. Pat also has 5 lines. It's not listed there. Joe had 400 PV. Jill has 500, and then her brand partner, Lisa, has 100. Then you have Pat with 400 over here. Kelly has 200, Bob with 100, and Sue with 100. Now, remember, we did not get paid a new volume bonus on Kelly because she doesn't belong to you. However, if you look here, if you count these 2 lines, here's 1 line, and here's a second line. This line ended up being a power line with 1,000. And this pay line was 800. So even though you didn't put Kelly in your organization, you're going to get paid base commission. You won't get paid a new volume bonus, but you will get paid base commission on her. So here you will get, based on the pay line, you will get 15% of 800 PV or $120. Not shabby. Now you're also going to get commission of 15% on top for your 200 PV in excess of that 100 PV. And it's going to be auto balanced across your 4 pay lines since you came in at Ultimate. So you end up getting an extra $30 here. So it does, like I said, why would you want to go to somewhere else and buy these products when you can pay yourself back for buying first-in-class, best-in-class products? Now, the power line is very important. So we talk about the power line as something where you don't get paid base commissions unless the person is actually someone you brought in. Well, you may wonder, why do I have to build it? For one, this is how the company makes money. The company makes money off your power line. But on top of that, you think of it as the bank. That's the way I like to think of it, at least, because when you are paid on a pay line, that same amount is going to be deducted or debited from your power line. So think of it as taking money out of the bank in order to get paid. You have to have the funds in your account. You can't just have one line. If you have one line that has 0, you're going to make 0 in base commission, right? You just can't do that. You have to build 2 lines, and then you will get paid on the smaller of 2 lines. So after you are paid on a given week, on a given Friday, the leftover volume in that power line that wasn't used will carry over to the following weeks. So that's a pretty cool thing. So now here's another cool thing. So we talk about, debiting volume out of your power line, but the cool thing is, once you have optimized the power line, you get it up to that 13 P34 level, then you just have to maintain that, because what will happen is any pay line that is at that level or less, you will get paid on the entire thing. So you could have 1,000, you could have 1,000 over on the power line, you could have 800 on 2 pay lines, adding up to 1,600, but you're going to get paid on both of those pay lines because each one of those is less than your power line. So that's a pretty cool thing. So when you are paid on your pay line, the same amount is deducted. And once again, if you had, like I said, we mentioned here, 1,000 PB power line to 8 PB pay lines, you are going to get paid on the whole 1,600 PB because each one of these 800 PB is less than 1,000. Okay, so now here's where the auto balancing gets really cool. That auto balancing we talked about, it's a patented thing that we have. More lines you have in your business. If you come in at business with 3 lines, elite with 4 lines, or ultimate at 5 lines, you're going to make more than you would with an activated 2-line business. And this is how it works. Let's say you had 1,000 PB on one line and 900 on the other. So 900 is your pay line. Now you put in 400 PB extra. You had a 500 PB order for yourself. You just bought a whole bunch of stuff. You had 400 extra PB after you met your 100 PB requirement. So now that's going to be auto balanced across your lines. Now, if you only had 2 lines, what's the best thing that could happen? You could end up having it so that the 2 lines are equal. So you'd put 150 under the 1,000 PB line, and you'd put 250 under the 900 PB line. You'd end up with 1,150 on each of those, 2,300 PB total volume. So you're really only getting 250 PB of that 400 going toward commissions if you have 2 lines. Plus 1,150 now is going to be taken out of your your power line for the next week. Now, what happens if you're ultimate? Here is the cool thing. If you have 5 lines, you can spread all that volume out. You have 3 lines that aren't even being used, but they'll be used for auto balancing. So over here, I don't even have to touch the power line. I'm going to add 100 here, make this 1,000. So this is equal. And then over here, I'm just going to add 100, 100, 100. So I'm putting 100 each on these 4 lines, the one that's being used as a pay line and these 3 empty lines. So now all 400 PB is going to be counted. So you've now made a lot more. And here's the other cool thing. You've only taken 1,000 out of your pay line for next week. So now you've saved 150 PB here. So it absolutely benefits you to have more lines. This is what it looks like graphically. Here's your 2-line example. The best you can do is to split them evenly. You'll make $37.50. You're going to use 1,150 of power line volume. Over here, there's the same 2 lines, and you have 3 empty lines. You're just going to spread that extra volume. You're going to get paid on all of it. You're going to make $60. So you made another $22.50, and you also saved $150, or rather 150 PB on the power line going over for next week. So the multi-line plan that we have that includes this auto balancing, this algorithm that we have, basically is where NewAge will take that, and they will always do this auto balancing in such a way that your commission is maximized. So more lines means more money. All right, so we talked about the new volume bonus, team lead bonus, as some of us know it by, where you get paid now. And then we have base commissions, where you build your 2 lines and you get paid on your pay line and anybody else you directly sponsor and any customers you have. Then we have what we call matching pay. This is what I like to call leader rewards, because you actually will get rewarded when you help your people get paid. You're going to get a percentage of their commission check. So any person you directly sponsor and their generations, so anybody they directly sponsor. So think of sponsorship tree again. This is that generational thing we were mentioning earlier. Now, for top leaders in this company, this pay can become the main source of income. And I've heard of somebody who had like $400,000 once on matching pay. I mean, it can be insanely large if you have a big organization. Now, gold status, once again, you bring in 4 brand partners with packs, but they subscribe and save in your first 8 weeks. That's going to unlock matching pay on these first 3 generations. So if you have somebody you brought in and they made $100 commission, you're going to get a $15 check just from their efforts. If the person they brought in made $100, you would get $10 from them. And then if that person brought in somebody and they made $100, you would get another $5. Now, there are other ways you can unlock generations 4 through 7 for matching pay. There are other qualifications. We'll mention those later. But these 5%, they look deceiving. Think of how your organization's growing out. You actually will end up making more off of these lower generations. So how does that look? So you enroll 4 in your first 8 weeks and you unlock these levels. Now, if we talk about the power of 4, and your goal is to get your people, get 4 people and get those people to bring in 4 and get those people to bring in 4. And what happens is the following. Let's just say everyone had 200 PV of commissionable volume at 15%, that's $30. Okay, it doesn't sound like a whole lot of money, but if you had 4 people in your generation 1 that you brought in and you multiply that by 15%, that's $18. And then over here, these people made $30 on 16 people. You get 48 out of this. In generation 3, you can see you're already doubling that. Now, let's just extend that out to the logical end. So right here, you get $162 just because you're gold and have that matching pay. Now, look at this. Generations 4 through 7, once you hit $500 in base commissions one time, once you hit 1,000 in base commissions one time, then when you optimize one pay line, and then when you optimize a second pay line, look at how you open up these other 4 generations. If you had the same thing going on here, look how much money you could possibly make. If you actually did this in a week, you would make $32,802 in 1 week just in matching pay. That's $1.7 million a year if you were able to do this every week. I mean, obviously this is an ideal example, but I'm just showing you the power of matching pay. All right, so let's go back and talk a little bit about placement tree and sponsorship tree. We've mentioned this before. The placement tree is the full view of your organization, your lines, and wherever people are placed in those lines. Those are people you put in, people your upline puts in, people your sponsored brand partners put in, et cetera, et cetera. Now, placement is used to determine the base commissions, as we mentioned, because that's what defines your power line and your pay lines. So that is a placement tree. Now, a sponsorship tree, once again, is the view of only those you sponsor directly, the people you actually wrote on the dotted line. This is on, you put your ID down as the sponsor. Those people are directly attached to you no matter where they are in the placement tree. They could be 60 levels down. That's still going to be your generation 1. Now, the persons that they bring in directly will be your generation 2, and so on. So think of this as a generational structure. So it doesn't really matter where they're placed. It has to do with who brought them in. And this is how you determine matching pay that we just got done talking about. So this is showing your growth in a generational structure. So this is a view over here on the left of a placement tree. So you're here, and your upline put Kelly in here. So she doesn't belong to you, but she's in your tree. So she's placed below you, and you brought these 3 people in, and you brought Pam in, and you placed her below Sue. So to Sue, she would be purple, right? If you want to think of a color, right? She wasn't belong to Sue for team lead bonus, but if Sue had a power line or other pay line over here, she could get paid off of this person that you put down here. Now, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 people you brought in. Jill brought in Lisa, Pat brought in Bob and Sue, Sue brought in Lori. Now, if we want to look at the sponsorship tree, this is what it would look like. The 4 people you brought in are your generation 1. Jill brought in Lisa, Pat brought in Bob and Sue. That's your generation 2. And then Sue brought in Lori. That's your generation 3. So on the left, this is how your base commissions would go. Let's just say that this had less volume than this right line. You would get your commissions off of this line. And if these people actually put in product orders, you would get paid off of these people, but only these people on the power line. but you get paid off of everybody in this pay line. Now, over on the right side, this is for matching pay. These people, when they get commissions, you're going to get 15% of that, 10% of the people on here, when they get commissions, and Lori down here in Generation 3 get 5%. And then those other levels are going to be unlocked later as you get, base commissions of $500, $1,000, and as you start optimizing pay lines. So that's placement tree and sponsorship tree. So placement, building your organization, you need a strong power line, the bank, as we called it earlier, so that you're always going to have a good carryover volume. Because let's just say that you are at a point where you're going to optimize. If you lose that on one side, you could end up optimizing on one side but not have it on the other side. Then you won't optimize, and you're going to miss bonuses. So how do you want to build? You really want to kind of balance your organization out. So place your first 2, maybe 3 people on the power line, start your second line and place the next person there, and start alternating. Because basically when you keep an org balanced, now you might get a rock star on one side and you might need to put a couple on the other side. So you just kind of have to dynamically look at this as it goes. So placement under brand partners is fine. You're only going to have so many places you can place directly under you. You're going to place these people in your organization. That's how that lady Kelly ended up, below me in that example. It was, our upline already had those positions filled right below them, so they put Kelly there. Now, as you build a power line, you're also building your downline's power line as well. This is a really cool thing to realize, that you have the ability to encourage your builders in your organization. You're still going to encourage them and hold them accountable to build their second side, but you can create some excitement by putting power line volume below them. And we're going to show you that. Now, here's the kind of an idea of building strategy. So in this case, there are different ways you can build, but in this case, what we did is we put the first 2 under here and the second 2 under here. And then we just alternated 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So in this case, we're saying that this is the pay line. Now, what happens if one of these people blows up and they have a whole bunch of volume? This could become your power line. And this could become your pay line. It really doesn't have anything to do with how many people are in your line. It has everything to do with the amount of volume. So remember, you need to have a strong power line to pay out your pay line. Okay, enrollment and placement. So it's really important. When you sponsor people, put your brand partners under your ID. Placement, if it's not the very first person you have ever put in your organization, you want to do this manually. The first time you do it, you can let the app do it on its own automatically, because it's just going to pick a place to put it. But once you have that first person in there, you want to always write down the ID number of where you want that person to go and do the manual option by ID only. And like I said, if you're on a Zoom with somebody, write that number down before you get on that Zoom, so you already have that number ready, so you're not scrambling to find that number. Don't let the app decide how your organization is built. That is your decision. You want to build momentum on your builders' long lines while still encouraging them, once again, to bring in people in on both lines. So if there's a long line and you're putting volume at the bottom of a long line, that means that many people are going to see activity. They're going to see their power line grow, and that's going to be encouraging to them. So, once again, sponsor under your ID because you earned it. Now, build power lines of those who build in your organization, because it's going to benefit many, and it's going to benefit the people who are actually building. So think of it like feeding the tap root of a plant. See this plant up here on the right? See that big root in the middle? That is a tap root. And what you want to do is you want to trace through your organization and look where all the builders are. And that's how you're going to build your organization. This still holds the people accountable to build their second line. So a tree should not have an active split unless that person is building, in theory, right? If you have a person that come in and they haven't put anybody below them, they're not going to have two lines. You're not going to get two lines, if they're not building. So this also makes the tree a little bit easier to follow to see where your builders are. So let's see what this looks like. So you're up here in yellow. Now, anybody who's listed here in yellow is a builder. You can see this person has two lines. This person here has two lines. And this person here, once again, has two lines, and this person has two lines. Over here, you have this builder with two lines and this builder with two lines. So think of it this way. What you want to do is you want to find the taproot of your organization, because you're going to reward your builders and you're going to create a lot of excitement. So on the left side, there's your taproot. You're going to go right down through here, and you might put the next person below here. So what that's going to do is it's going to give volume to every one of these people in their power line. Every one of these builders is going to get volume. And these people will get volume too, but what you're doing is you're actually following your builder line, right? Why would you put it over here? Only this builder would see that. Why would you put it here? Only this builder would benefit, and this one, but not these two. You want to continue to build that power line, that taproot. Now over here on the pay line, same thing you're going to do. You're going to go down through your builder, and then you really have a choice here. Let's say we put it here. So in this case, you're rewarding both of these builders. You wouldn't put it over here. That's their responsibility, right? You're not going to put it here. That's their responsibility. And this way, everybody gets the benefit. So that is a great strategy for enrollment and placement. And it's just important to know, because that's going to help you to earn more money with this compensation plan. Let's talk about the savings bonus. So we've talked about all of the, the three main ways we get paid. The new volume bonus. We've talked about base commissions. We've talked about matching pay. We also talked about the retail bonus that people get when they, when retail sales are made. Now, a savings bonus is really cool. Now, I mentioned that I knew somebody who was in Mary Kay once, and you can earn a car in Mary Kay. And most of us have heard of the pink Cadillacs, and it used to be, back in the day, it was a Grand Am. Now it's a different type of car. Pontiac isn't even a thing anymore. I'm not sure what kind of car it is now. Here's the bottom line. A lot of these companies, they have cars and things like that. If you don't make the rank, you can get stuck with a payment. So it's great as long as you're making the rank, but now you've got this payment hanging over your head, and you have to perform to keep that going. That is stressful. And plus, they've told you that's your reward. You are getting a car with that money. NewAge has a different philosophy. They believe that you should have flexibility to decide where you want your money to be. If you want to take that money and buy a car, go do it. If you want to take that money and buy 10 iPads, you can do it. If you want to take that money and go travel, you can do it. If you want to put it in your kids' college education fund, you can do it. So every week that you make $250 in base commissions, not new volume bonus, but base commissions or more, you're going to get 15% placed in a savings account that the company will save for you. And that can be up to $2,000 a month. Now, here's the cool thing. It's going to take a while to build. It might take years for this to build. They're going to hold on to it. But when that number gets up to $10,000, they're going to cut you a check and send it to you. And you will have a $10,000 savings bonus check that you can do whatever you want to do with it. What a great option. Now let's talk about optimization. So once again, optimizing a line is when your power line and a pay line is maxed out for base commissions. That in the US, that is 13,334 PV times 15%. That's a $2,000 payout on a single pay line. You have to have the pay line and the power line both at 13,334 to optimize that position. Now, that triggers some really cool things. So once you have done this, it triggers a re-entry. You get another income position to place somewhere in your organization, and it's like joining NewAge again. Now, remember we talked about matching pay. Let's say that you have a really good builder who's really doing great and they're like 20 levels down on your placement tree, you can place yourself below them and reward them for those efforts. And now you get another 7 levels of matching pay below that income position. So this is how you get paid deep in your organization. So that is a really cool thing. Now, if you are ultimate, you also get a power reentry. You can place yourself in your power line. And I'll tell you what, you really like that, because if you put yourself in the power line, then you can really help keep that power line always at 13,334. And that way you never, ever miss an optimization opportunity. Because when you optimize, it opens some other things up. So there's your reentry and your power reentry. Now, when you get to 13,334, you get that reentry, or you can also get a power reentry if you're ultimate. Now, you also get, when you optimize, a 2% income bonus and a reentry the first time you get the reentry. Now, you don't get that every time, but if you optimize a line, every time you optimize, you get a 2% income position bonus. That's 2% of the company income that is going to be shared across all the people that optimized that given week. So that's not a huge number of people. Now, let's say you optimize 2 pay lines with a power line. That triggers another 1% pay line bonus on top of that. Think of how many people are optimizing 2 pay lines. That's an even smaller number. So even though this is only a 1% bonus, you end up getting more with this bonus than you do with this. So you get all sorts of fun stuff when you optimize. That is an amazing week. You are going to be very happy when you have that happen. All sorts of things happen, and it's just what everybody should be aiming for. 13,334 in a given week. Here's what it looks like graphically. And so I've optimized my first pay line, and this is like a whole organization. And then there's a lady named Lisa, and I decided to place myself below Lisa. So now I'm going to get paid off of me, and Lisa's going to get paid off of me, and everybody in here who's building is also going to get paid off of me as I work this position. Now, if I was ultimate, I'd get a position over here, optimized power line under Sue. I can place myself in my power line. This is really great because you want to keep this power line always optimized. Now, as I continue to work, I could optimize another pay line down the road, right? And there's no limit. Every time you optimize, you get another line. So you can have 7, 8, 9, 10 pay lines. If you keep this optimized, you could actually optimize all 10 of those pay lines and you get paid on it. Let me tell you, if you're optimizing 10 pay lines, you're not hurting for money. So when you optimize a pay line, you become what we call a senior officer. That's the first time you hit 13,334 PV on a pay line. Now, if you optimize another pay line, this is a couple of levels up from that, called CEO. That's 26,667 PV. That's when you optimize 2 pay lines. Now you have to have a power line as well. So really you have 40,000 PV optimized. You get paid on these 2 pay lines, and that makes you a CEO. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about title advancements here. But before I do that, I wanted to just reiterate the value of these reentries is not only can you make money off of you, think of the matching pay. You can continue to drill deep and get paid another 7 levels deep. So there really is no limit to how wide you get a new position, or rather you get a new line every time you optimize a line. And there's no limit to how deep you go. You get a new reentry, which allows you to drill deep. So that is the multi-line plan. NewAge title advancements. So the first 4 ranks are determined by personal earnings only. So you have the team lead, senior team lead, supervisor, and senior supervisor. These are designed to help people rank up quick, get people excited, get some success early. It is based on your personal earnings only. The minute you hit $100, you are a team lead. The minute you hit $200, you are a senior team lead. 400 for a supervisor and 600 for a senior supervisor. Now, above this, you have a whole nother tier. Now, once you go above senior supervisor, now you are starting to be rewarded for leadership. You are starting to build an organization. You are building your 2 lines out, and you have to have a certain amount of PV in your pay line. So manager, $800 total and 1,000 PV. So you can't just have 800. You can have 800, but if you don't have the PV, you will not rank out of senior supervisor until both of these are met. Senior manager, $900 and 1,500 PV. Director, 1,000. And this is where the earnings part of this tops out. 1,000 and 2,000 PV. Senior director at 1,000 and 2,500 PV. And then vice president, where we are right now, $1,000 and 3,000 PV. So, and the reason I put a break here is really, when you think about it, if you could possibly make it up to vice president on your own, you could possibly do it. It's hard. 3,000 PV is like $4,500 to $5,000 in product. It's a lot of product. Most often, you're going to, have a team effort to help you get there. It's people below you. You might even be something. You might have upline. They might have extra volume or whatever. This is kind of a team effort once you get up to about this level. But this is kind of, I look at this as the highest level that someone could possibly reach on their own. And I can tell you that we did not reach it on our own. We had a lot of people who decided to come in that week, and that, you just can't do all this on your own. This is a team sport. And so everybody celebrates when people make rank. Now, above vice president, it's absolutely a team sport. When you get to these higher levels of PV, senior vice president, it's 5,000 PV. This is a single week. So you have to do this in a week. That's Saturday midnight to Friday midnight. And then officer at 6,667, that is half of an optimized line. So that also equates to $1,000 in base commissions on a given week. Now, these next 3 ranks, now you're starting to really cook with gas. Senior officer is when you have 1 pay line that has been optimized. President is kind of in between. And then chief executive officer or CEO, that's when you've optimized 2 pay lines, 26,667 PV. That is a lot of PV. So, and like I said, if you've made this and you've optimized 2 lines, you're getting not only the 2% bonus, but you're getting that 1% bonus as well. Now, after this point, chairperson 1. So once you hit a chairperson, it unlocks a part of NewAge Business Rewards called Dream It, where the company will actually contact you and help you to do something that you have only dreamed about. They will actually help you to achieve a dream that you want. Pretty amazing. Chairperson 1 is at 40,000 PV. So, like I said, you have a 13,334 power line and 3 optimized pay lines to get 40,000 PV. Now, anything above chairperson 1, you just add 13,334 per. So a chairperson 2 is 53,334, and et cetera. It goes up from there. NewAge title advancements. Now this says RX. This is the old chart from before we merged, but the values are still there. This left chart actually is just the higher ranks from vice president on up. But I just wanted to let people realize that if you go through senior officer, that's 13,334, and you get all the way up to chairperson at 40,000, notice you can go all the way up to chairperson 8, and you will have 133,334. That's 10 optimized pay lines. You're making a lot of money at that point. And then eventually there's a rank called crown chairperson above that. They have a founders club for people who have done incredible jobs of helping to establish new markets. This is a very elite category. There are not that many people in this, but if you make Founders Club, you've absolutely done something that is legacy that will be remembered forever. Now, I like this chart over here. This kind of tells you this is what you will make based on what level you are in the company on a given week. So if you hit team lead volume on a given week, you make $25. If you make director volume, 2000 PV on a given week, you're going to make $250. Vice president, you're going to make 500. If you are a chairperson level 1 and you have that, if you every week you make that volume, probably about $6,000 you're taking home on a given week. I mean, think about that. That's $312,000 a year. I mean, that's some good money right there. NewAge stock, you can be an owner. NewAge is publicly traded on the NASDAQ exchange. It's very affordable, around 30 cents. The executives of NewAge took their former company from 80 cents to over $200 a share. Not saying we're going to do that, but this is a pretty good opportunity to buy some shares and just sit on it for a while. I think there will be a day when we'll reminisce. Obviously, I can't give financial advice, but at 30 cents a share, it definitely is a good buy if you want to buy some shares and sit on them for a while. Don't miss out on an opportunity to be an owner in your own company. But wait, there's more. If all of this wasn't enough, you have business rewards. These are points you earn for orders, rank advancements, et cetera, et cetera. These can be used in a variety of ways. You have that win it, get it, give it, and dream it. Dream it's only for chairperson and above, as we mentioned. And you can use them on these lifestyle perks. We have a travel club. Actually, you do pay a fee for this. It actually is a club account, and you get tremendous ability to have discounted hotels and flights and that type of thing. So you can use those points off of your NBRs, or you can use your e-wallet. If you have money you've earned in commissions and you have it in an e-wallet in the company, you can use that as well. NewAge has a medical plan for active brand partners. So if you don't have medical insurance, we actually have it. NewAge Diamonds allows you to get some really beautiful jewelry at great discounts. And that NewAge loyalty we mentioned way back when, after your first auto delivery or subscribe and save order is delivered, you will be able to get products at even better discounts through the loyalty program. NewAge incentive trips. So we have a Utah Ultimate Experience. If you are a brand new brand partner, you have 6 months. If you make $3,000 in commissions, you get to go to this Utah Ultimate Experience and spend time with the corporate staff and just do some amazing things and get to learn. It's a great opportunity. Then they have Power Ranker incentivized trips. The latest one was achieving the top 30 in North America as a Power Ranker. You get to go on an all expenses paid trip. A whole bunch of people went to Costa Rica. It was a beautiful time for those people. Yeah, but they had some time where they learned some things, but a lot of it was just kicking back and learning about fellow people in their company, just being able to enjoy the fruits of their labors. Then we have a Tahitian dream trip, because we have a Tahitian noni line and we have a unique partnership with Tahiti. If you're not at the officer rank yet, 6667, you achieve that officer rank during the qualification period, and you requalify it at that rank 2 more times in the qualification period, you will qualify to go to Tahiti. Now, if you're a couple, you'll have to requalify 4 times to do that, to have both people go for free. That will give you an all expenses qualified or trip to Tahiti. That includes not only the flight, but it includes your stay there. So you want to be treated like a king and a queen. You go for this Tahitian dream trip. It will be something you will never, ever forget. So we have the best compensation plan, number 1 in the industry, 50% of company revenue. We have so many ways of being paid, from retail profits, team lead bonus, or new volume bonus, base commissions, matching pay savings bonus, the pay pool and income pool bonuses. And actually, these are reversed. The income pool is actually the 2%, and the pay pool is the 1%. And the NewAge business rewards, lifestyle perks, stock, incentive trips. What more could you want? All of this while helping yourselves and others live their best lives. So I hope tonight that you have learned a lot about our plan. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop me a line or ask somebody on the team. We'd love to help fill you in on this. And we look forward to helping you succeed as a brand partner in NewAge. And that is all I have to share tonight. We thank you once again for tuning into this comp plan presentation, and goodbye for now.